Yes, and we are good to go. So let's get comfortable on the mat here. Come onto your little cushion. And whichever way works for you. Like, it doesn't have to be cross-legged. Remember, like in the mornings, I often have them fully cross-legged. In the evenings, I have them staggered because the body has been moving all day. So really just do what feels good for you right now. And then maybe gently lean back with your shoulders, lean back with your head. Really aligning your head over your heart over your pelvis, soft bend in your elbows. Start closing your eyes here. We will just take a couple moments to check in with the breath. We're going to do our directional breathing again, something I've been focusing on during my morning meditation. Really direct your inhale all the way down into your belly. Let that belly come out big. And with your exhale, let it come all the way out through your chest and your shoulders, out of your mouth. Your eyes are not closed yet. Gently close them. And then just keep breathing. Maybe relaxing your shoulders even further down while you're having that relaxation spread through your body. We're again inviting softness. And then gently blink open your eyes. Bring your hands to your shoulders, to the top of your shoulders. We're going to do little shoulder circles, bringing your elbows all the way in, letting them tap up here, and then going all the way up. Coming back down, little tap. And just keep going nice and slow here. Bringing some movement into those shoulders. And then we will start going the other way around, but instead of bringing both arms at the same time, we will do one arm at a time. Just because it's easy to kind of go a little bit too fast and not take that full circle. So we want to go nice and slow here. That's cracking or popping, embrace it. Let's do one more on each side. And then release those hands. We'll come off of our pillows, move it out to the side, and come onto all fours, bringing those wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tops of the feet are pushing down. And then see if you can really push into your hands here, as if you're lifting yourself away from the mat. So you're pushing away from the mat. Like I was showing it on Monday. Like if you don't push down, it's easy to be dropped down here. And once I start pushing in, see how this lifts up nicely? Beautiful. Gaze goes straight down to the mat. And then with your inhale, drop your belly, let your gaze go up. Exhale, pull your navel in, round your upper body into cat. And then keep moving with your own breath here. Invitation to close your eyes if that feels good. Remember, this is your flow. And then coming back to center. Bring your knees close together, tuck your toes under, and then slowly walk yourselves back with your butt towards your heels. You can keep your hands on the ground here, or let it slowly come all the way up towards your hip creases if that feels good for your body. And then maybe even all the way up over your head, letting your palms face forward. Make sure you're slightly tugging that belly in, even here. And then slowly start opening and closing those fists with those open fingers. So we're coming into our wrist strengthener. Remember, you're going for that clapping sound. Fingers come to the fleshy part of the palm. Speed it up for a moment. We'll be working today, so we want to get nice and warmed up and strengthened beforehand. Let's speed it up one more time. And then let those hands move down to your sides while keeping the movement going. Interlace your fingers behind your back. If this at any point gets too much for your feet or the tops of your feet, you can always release your toes here. Pushing your palms together, then really imagine there is a little walnut in between your shoulders and you're trying to crush that walnut. My mom used to always use that expression. She used to teach like aerobics and gymnastics and that kind of stuff. And then when I would go to her classes when I was a kid, that was like, imagine there's a walnut in between your shoulders and you're trying to crack it. So let's do that. You let your hands slightly pull down towards the ground, maybe opening your chest here. And then relax and release everything. Come back to your tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Use your inhale to lift your knees and your exhale to lift those hips. Coming all the way up into your down dog. Gonna take our time here. Maybe start bending one knee, then the other. Bending nice and deep. Walking your dog out. Check in on your shoulders. Make sure they are nice and wide. If there's anything else you want to do in your down dog, feel free to do so. And then from here, walk your feet slightly out towards the outside of the mat. So you have that nice wide stance. Walk your hands slightly forward. So you're having this very long down dog. Sinking your chest down, relaxing your shoulders out. And then from here, walk your hands to your feet. Coming into a forward fold. Maybe keeping your hands parallel to your feet. Maybe walking your hands slightly out to the back, away from your head. Letting your gaze go through your legs to the wall behind you. See if you can have a generous bend in your knees here. We're still at the beginning of practice today. We don't want to go straight into a straight-legged forward fold. And then slowly walk your hands all the way back to the front, coming into a high plank. Keep that nice wide stance. It will give you more stability. Shoulders are pushing out, gaze goes down. The crown of your head is reaching forward. See if you can gently rock forward slightly with your heels so your shoulders are slightly in front of your wrists. You can always bring your knees down in your planks. I'm going to be here for 3 more breaths. Exhale, bring your hips back up. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And then taking teeny tiny steps, walk your feet all the way to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Bring your right knee down. Release those big toes. Start squeezing those thighs to the midline. Create some strength. And then use that strength with your inhale. Lift your arms over your head. Palms are facing inwards, holding that big beach ball over your head. Check onto your core engagement here. So we're trying to not have that banana shape, protecting the lower back. Exhale, come back down, plank your back leg. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into a high plank or a supported high plank. Choose your weapon. And then we will slowly start lowering all the way down to the belly. You know, you have your options. You can either bring your knees down first and then lower down, or you can start lowering all the way down like a plank, going as slow as you can. See if your whole body can touch the mat at the same time. Release your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Pushing those shoulders back and down, elbows are hugging into your body. Letting your gaze go about a foot in front of you onto the ground. The back of the neck is nice and long. Exhale, come back down. Tuck your toes under. And then come back into your down dog, either through tabletop or through your plank. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And then step your right foot in between your hands. Squeeze those thighs with your inhale. Reach up high with your arms. Putting the beach volleyball over your head. Exhale, come back down. Plank your back leg. Step your left foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Bring your left knee down. Release those back toes. Squeeze your thighs and then use your inhale to bring those arms back over your head. And then grab your left wrist with your right fingers. Use your inhale to lengthen that left arm up towards the sky. And your exhale to gently start pulling it over to the right. Feeling a big, big stretch in your left side. Exhale, come back up. Bring both hands down. Keep that left hand on the ground. And with your inhale, let your right arm come up towards the sky, coming into a little twist. A little fun adjustment I like to do here. I bring my right hand to my belly and I pull that belly out to the right, giving myself more space to twist. That's what I love about teaching a class with just women in it. You can kind of say those things and it's just more of a comfortable, safe setting. So thank you all for being here while I'm at it. And then slowly bring that right hand back down. Plank your back leg. Step that right foot to the back of the mat, coming into your high plank here for 5 breaths. Remember, you can bring your knees down, maybe lift your feet. Make sure the crown of your head is reaching down so you don't want to drop the head down. And then again, the same thing we did earlier when we went all 4, when I told you to push into the mat and push yourself away from the ground. See if you can do that again and see how this allows you to lift up further and have more engagement in your body. Exhale, come back to your down dog. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And then keep pushing your belly towards your thighs. We're staying in our down dog for another moment. Gaze goes to your toes. And then from here, with your next inhale, step that left foot in between your hands. Bring your right knee down, release those back toes. Start squeezing those thighs together, create that strength. With your inhale, raise both arms up over your head. And then bring that left hand, grab your right wrist with your left fingers. Use your next inhale to lift that right arm up high. And your exhale to pull that arm over to the left. Breathing into your right side, into your rib cage. Slowly come back up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Keep your right hand down. And with your inhale, lift your left arm up high towards the sky. Make sure that the right shoulder doesn't pop out to the front. Gently tug it in. And then bring everything back down. Plank your back leg. Step that right foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes here for a moment. Maybe feel your heartbeat. Just have a nice little moment of silence and stillness. And then gently open your eyes again. I came up with some fun activities for us today. So we're gonna do a little bit of strengthening. You're gonna bring your hands to the outsides of your head. You can totally stand the same way on the mat as you have been. I'm just facing you so you can see me better. And then from here, you're gonna have your left leg as your standing leg. You're gonna move your right leg out to the right as much as you can without tilting too much to the left. Bring it back down. Do this one more time. Bring it back down. And then one more time. And then bring that right knee towards your left elbow. Elbow is moving towards your knee and then back down. Sorry, we're gonna do this actually fast. It's just the walking you through, it takes a little bit longer. Let's do the other side. So right leg is your standing leg. Left leg moves out to the left as straight as it can and as far as it goes. And then the third one, you bend it, you bring your left knee towards your right elbow, and then you step it down. So we're gonna do 4 of those on each side, so 8 in total. I'm not gonna be doing the counting because I feel like that's going to be more distracting to you. So you just do your own counts. So 2 times out, and then opposite elbow to opposite knee. 4 times on each side, 8 times in total. I'm gonna be doing it with you, so you don't feel like I'm just standing here doing nothing. We would not want that. Good job. You can finish up wherever you're at with this. Don't feel like you need to be done just because some of us are done. Maybe you've already been done. Wherever you are with that, maybe grab a sip of water. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. Perfect. And then we will come back to the front of the mat. Bring those hands to heart center. Use your inhale to reach those arms up high over your head. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, come down. I'm gonna come into a forward fold for 5 breaths. Again, feel free to have a nice little bend in your knees here. Letting your head hang down softly. Maybe your hands are on the ground. Maybe you're grabbing your opposite elbows. Maybe shake your head yes and then shake it no. And then one more time, yes and no. Perfect. Release whatever bind you're having. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. And then from here, again, either bringing your knees down first or just lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, coming into your back bend of choice. Coming up as high as feels good for your body. Swings pose is also always available. Exhale, come back down. And then we're gonna keep flowing. Inhale, coming up into your back bend. Exhale, slowly coming down. Inhale up. Exhale down. So go really nice and slow, taking the whole inhale to come up. And the whole exhale to come down. Let's do 2 more. Beautiful. And we'll make our way back into our down dogs, whichever way works for you. You know, your options, tabletop or high plank. All the paths lead to your down dog. Pushing your heels down towards the ground. And take 3 breaths here. Make sure all the knuckles are pushing down into the mat so you're taking off some pressure from your wrists. And then keep pushing the left heel down. Lift your right leg up high towards the sky. Maybe bend your right knee, stack your hips if that feels good. So your right knee is pointing up towards the sky. And then see if you can let your gaze go below your left arm and then up towards the sky. Maybe you can see your right foot waving at you. And then bring that right leg back. Bring it into your chest. Keep it here. Right foot is moving up towards your butt. Push that mat away from you. And then step that right foot all the way through in between your hands. Bring your left foot down at an angle, about 45 degrees. We're moving into our warrior one. Left hip is pushing forward. Generous bend in your right knee. Squeeze your thighs together. With your inhale, come all the way up. Bringing your arms over your head. Palms are facing inwards. Check on that core engagement here. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into your right knee. Push your left hip a little bit more forward. If you feel uncomfortable in your shoulders here, you can bring your hands down to heart center. Maybe pushing those elbows out to the side. Be here for 2 more breaths. And then with your next exhale, bring your hands down if they are over the head. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And with your exhale, start melting down into your pyramid pose. We're going all the way down. You can keep your hands at heart center. You can bring them down to the ground. Or you can interlace you can bring them into reverse prayer behind your back. So again, choose your weapon. Let yourself melt down towards that right leg. Make sure that left hip is still pushing forward. And then gently bend your right knee. If your hands are not on the ground, bring them onto the ground. Walk your hands slightly forward so they are in front of your foot. Push your palms into the mat. Lift your left heel. Start rocking forward, pushing forward. Start lifting that back leg, coming into a standing split. Remembering we're keeping that left hip level to the ground. So it doesn't open up to the left. You can bend your elbows here. You can come onto your fingertips. Belly and chest are moving towards your standing leg. If you're shaking, that's okay. And then with your next exhale, bend that right knee and bring your left foot back to the back of the mat. Keeping that left hand on the ground. With your inhale, lift your right arm, coming into a nice easy twist. Maybe letting your gaze follow that right hand. Make sure you still have a nice deep bend in your right knee and your left leg is pulling up, so your left hip and hamstring are being pulled up. Exhale, come back down. Step that right foot to the back of the mat, coming into your down dog. Push your right heel down, lift your left leg up high, bend your left knee, maybe stack your hips here, left knee is pointing up. Make sure you're still pushing into both arms, into both hands, so your left shoulder doesn't lift up. Push it down slightly. And maybe looking underneath your right arm, you might be able to see that left foot waving at you. Be a little bit silly here. And then from here, bring that left knee into your chest. Shoulders move over your wrists. That left foot is pulling into your body. And then step it all the way through in between your hands. Right foot comes down at an angle, 45 degrees to the right. Generous bend in your left knee. Right hip is pushing forward. And then with your inhale, start squeezing your thighs. And then use your exhale to come all the way up. Maybe bringing your arms over your head or to heart center. Remember, if you're bringing it to heart center, make sure you're coming into that active prayer pose with your elbows at the height of your wrists. Maybe sinking a little bit deeper into your left knee. Then if your arms are over your head, slowly bring them back down. Inhale, straighten your left leg. And with your exhale, melt into your pyramid pose. You're coming down with your back nice and straight. It's okay to have a micro bend in your left knee. Choose where you want to be here with your hands. And then check on that right hip. Make sure that right hip is pushing forward. Belly and chest are melting towards your left leg, no matter where you are. Let yourself go. Surrender into the pose. And then from here, slowly bend your left knee. Walk your hands slightly forward in front of that left foot. Palms are pushing down. Lift your right heel. Start using that back foot to rock you forward. Lift that right leg up into your standing forward fold. Remember that right hip is leveling down to the ground, so you're not opening up. Let that belly and chest melt down towards your left leg. Gently bend that left knee. Bring your right foot back to the back of the mat. Keep your right hand on the ground. With your inhale, lift your left arm up. Coming into your easy twist. Make sure you're not just dumping that right hip down, but gently lift it up. Maybe letting your gaze go up. Wherever you are, come to your breath here. See if you can breathe into your belly. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming back to your down dog for 5 breaths. Or come down into a wide-legged child's pose. And then we will do one more hard thing, not just one more before the end of class, but one more before we take a little bit of a rest. So bring your feet closer together, they're wide apart. Pushing your heels down towards the ground, belly is pushing towards your legs. Inhale, lift your right leg up high towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right knee to the outside of your right elbow. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, bring it back to your right elbow. Bring it down to the mat. And then lift your left leg. Bring that left leg back down. Bring that right leg all the way back up. I know this might have been confusing, so it's okay here. I'm gonna do this a couple more times so you will get it. Inhale, bring your right knee to the outside of your right elbow. Exhale, extend it all the way out. Inhale, back to your elbow. Exhale, out. One more time, bring it to your elbow. And then drop it down here to the ground. Lift your left leg up high. Bring it back down. Bring that right foot all the way back up into your three-legged dog. I'm gonna do this one more time on this side. If you're a little bit out of breath, that's okay, me too. So inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale out. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale out. One more time, knee to elbow. Drop it down. Lift your left leg. Bring it back down. Lift that right leg up and all the way back up. And then slowly bring your right foot back down. Gonna do this whole fun thing on the other side. Maybe shake your butt out here a little bit. Yeah, it might feel silly, but do it anyway. It will feel good. Took me a while to be able to do this without feeling totally silly. So it's all good if you do feel silly. It's actually fun once you get over the silliness of it. And then coming back to stillness, pushing your right heel down, lift your left leg up with your inhale. And then with your next inhale, bring that left knee to the outside of your left elbow. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale in. Exhale up. Inhale back to the elbow. Drop that leg down. Lift your right leg. Bring it back down. Lift your left leg. Step it all the way back up. Inhale back to the outside of your elbow. Exhale up. Inhale elbow. Exhale up. One more time. Inhale elbow. Bring it down. Lift your right leg. Bring it back down. Lift the left leg. Guide it all the way back up. And one last time. Inhale to your elbow. Exhale, lift. Inhale, elbow. Exhale, lift. Inhale, elbow. Drop it down. Lift your back leg. Bring that right foot back down. Lift the left leg. Step it all the way back up into your three-legged dog. And then bring that left leg down. And we will come into a nice wide-legged child's pose. Yay. You can walk your arms out in front of you, letting your forehead come down to the mat. I'm gonna be here for a nice 5 breaths. See if you can really breathe into your lower back here. Filling it out like a little balloon. And then slowly make your way back onto all fours. Bring those wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And then while keeping your knees bent, your left foot is pushing down into the mat. Your right leg will lift up. Foot is moving up towards the sky. Bring it back down. Lift it open to the right, like a little hip opener. Bring it back down. Back up into that hip opener. Straighten your leg out. Tap the ground. Lift it back up. Tap the ground. Lift it back up. And slowly guide it all the way out to the back. And back in. Yeah, I've been using my breaks in between math exercises really creative to come up with fun ways to torture you guys. I mean, have fun with you guys. That's what I meant to say, obviously. So we're going to do the other side. So left leg is moving up, the right foot is pushing down, left leg up. Bring it back down, open up to the left side. One more time, open up to the left side. Straighten that leg, tap that left foot down, Lift it back up. Tap it down. Lift it up. Guide it all the way out to the back. And slowly back down. And do this two more times on each side. So make sure you're pushing nicely into your hands and that the leg that's not moving is pushing and grounding into the mat. So right side, up towards the sky, back down, open to the right, down, open, straighten, tap and lift, guide out to the back and bring it back in. Sounds like a song. So left leg up to the sky, out to the left, back down, out to the left, extend, tap and up, guide it out to the back and all the way back down. Last round, almost said. Right leg goes up, opens up to the side. One more time, extend your leg, tap and up, all the way out to the back and back in. Left leg up towards the sky, back down, out to the left, down, out to the left. Extend the leg, tap the foot down, lift it up, tap and up. Guide it all the way out to the back and bring it back in. Beautiful. Bring your knees about mat width apart, big toes are coming together. Make sure your hands are nicely in a way that your wrists are below your shoulders. And then with your inhale, lift your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Let the right arm come onto the mat, resting on your cheek or your temple. Maybe walking your left arm out in front of you. Maybe closing your eyes here. And then walk that left hand back in. If it's walked out, push into the mat. And then use your exhale to bring that right arm all the way back up. And then from here, instead of just bringing it down, guide it back towards your butt. Make that big circle and then bring it down. And then your right hand is pushing down. Left arm goes up with your inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Coming down onto your left side, maybe walking that right arm out. Maybe closing your eyes here, melting and relaxing. And then bring that right hand back in if it's out. Pushing into the ground, use your exhale to bring that left arm all the way back up, letting your gaze follow. And then guide that left arm all the way out to the back, as big and wide as you can. And then bring it slowly back down. Bring those knees back together. Tuck your toes under and make your way back into your down dog. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. Step your right foot in between your hands. Step your left foot in between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then from here, walk your feet a little bit further apart, about hip width. Toes are pointing outwards. We're going to come into a malasana, a yogi squat, but we're going to go nice and slow and controlled to make it more fun, obviously. So we're going to bring those palms together, elbows are pushing out via this active prayer pose. And then start bending your knees, lowering your hips. You're trying to keep your upper body as straight as possible. And then sinking down into your malasana. You can move your toes out further. You're on your heels. That's awesome. If your heels are hovering above the ground, that's awesome too. Just be where you are. You can bring your upper arms to the insides of your legs and gently push your legs out. And then see if you can let the crown of your head reach up towards the sky. Pelvis is grounding down. It's almost like you're trying to tuck your tail under in this position. Great moment to take some water. And we're nice and warm in the shoulders, so we'll do a little bit of shoulder stretching here. So bring your hands down to the ground. Walk your left arm out towards the left until that left shoulder pushes against the left leg. And then let your right arm go up towards the sky. Option 1, you can stay here. Option 2 is you can try to take a bind here. Now bringing that left arm around the left leg, so your left fingers are moving towards your butt. Right hands move behind you, trying to find that left hand. Then wherever you are in this, let your gaze go up to the right. So that right shoulder is nicely pushing back, whichever option you've chosen. And see, even here, you can breathe into your belly. And then release wherever this is at for you. And we'll move over to the other side, walking that right hand out to the right until that shoulder is pushing against the knee. Left arm is moving up towards the sky. Gaze can follow. And then maybe taking your bind on this side. So choosing option 1 or 2, whenever feels good for you. Wherever you are, let that gaze go up towards the left shoulder and then up. So the left shoulder is pushing back. Breathe into your belly. And then slowly release, bringing both hands back down. And we will just sit down on the mat from here. Keep those knees nice and bent. You can hold onto your hamstrings for extra support, or you can have your arms parallel to your legs. And then we will slowly start rolling all the way down onto the back. See if you can go nice and slow. If the last few inches are a big drop, it's all good. And then I'm gonna do something fun, which I'm kind of already regretting because it's going to be rough, but that's okay. So you're gonna bring your arms, will stay on your outside. You're gonna extend your legs out as if you're kind of coming into a low boat. So your shoulders and your head are gently lifted here. Belly might be shaking. And then with your exhale, you're gonna kind of bring your upper body and your lower body together. Bend your knees, touch your heels. And then slowly come back down. Spread your legs out wide into a straddle. And then shoot your arms through your legs. We'll just take a couple slow rounds here so you know what we're doing. And then bend your knees, grab your heels. Come all the way back down, straddle, shoot your arms through your legs. Every time your legs and your upper body are moving towards each other. Just keep moving at your own pace. This is not about doing a certain amount of them or anything. We're just trying to keep nice and strong here. So I'd rather have you do less, but keep the integrity of the poses and the body, than do more, but end up hurting yourself. Perfect. Let's make our way down onto the back, hug those knees in tightly. And then bring those knees onto the ground. I mean, your feet onto the ground, knees up. Hands are on your side. See if you can bring those feet into a point where your fingertips might be touching your heels. If that's not happening, just move into that direction. Tuck your tail under so you really have your lower back glued to the ground. If I were to walk around, I would not be able to put my hand underneath your lower back. There's no little gap there. Breathing into your belly, calming your breath here. Using that tool. And then with your next exhale, slowly start lifting your hips, coming into a bridge pose. Keeping that core engagement working here. Keep squeezing your thighs as if you're holding a block in between your knees or your thighs. So your shins are facing forward. See if you can lift those hips up slightly higher. Exhale, come back down. I didn't tell you to keep breathing up there, but I hope you did. I'm gonna do this one more time. So you're gonna use your exhale, lift those hips back up, nice and high, squeezing your butt. Keep breathing here, maybe bringing your hands together underneath your back, maybe squeezing those shoulders in so you're coming up higher onto your shoulders. You can play with this one. Just do what feels good. Make sure that belly is still moving inwards. So especially in back bends. I know I say it every time we do a back bend, but especially in back bends, we want to make sure we have core engagement. Squeeze that butt a little bit more, lift the hips slightly higher, and then slowly come back down. Bring your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg out wide, hug that right knee in towards your right shoulder. So your leg is kind of on the outside of your rib cage. And then we will come into a half happy baby by bringing your right hand to the outside of your right foot. The right thigh is kind of like the quad is pushing down towards the mat on the side of your rib cage. That left heel and leg are pushing into the mat. So it's really getting as heavy as it can be. Relaxing your shoulders down. Breathing into your belly. Surprise. And then slowly bring that right foot down, lift your left leg, extend that right leg out, hug the left knee in, hug that left knee towards your left shoulder. And then come into your half happy baby on this side, grabbing, so you're coming in from the inside of your left leg and then grabbing the outside of the left foot. Pushing that leg down, so you're trying to bring that left quad towards the ground. That right leg is really pushing down. Your right hip will try to lift up. Don't let it. I like having my right hand on that right hip or your right quad, just like a little weight. And then bring that left leg down, bring your right leg in. We're gonna come into a full happy baby. So you're coming in from the inside of your legs, and then you're grabbing your feet from the outside. You're trying to keep the tailbone as much on the mat as possible. And then again, you're letting and moving your quads down towards the mat. So you have that nice 90-degree angle in your knees. And then from here, maybe lift your head, look straight, pretty much to your private parts. There's no better way of me saying that. Relax your shoulders. See if you exhale, you can let the shoulders come down a little. And then come all the way down. Extend your left leg out. Keep your right leg in. I'm gonna finish up with a nice reclined spinal twist. Right arm goes out to the right, palm is facing down. And then guide that right leg all the way over to the left. Letting your gaze go either up or towards your right hand. Make sure that the right shoulder is glued to the ground. And then come back through center. Bring your left leg in, extend your right leg out. Left arm goes out, palm is facing down, and then guide that left leg over to the right. The side where you want your gaze to go. Make sure that left shoulder is glued down. And then slowly come back to center. Bring both legs in for a moment. Give yourself a big, big hug. And then extend both legs out long. Let those toes fall out to the sides. Arms are resting parallel to your body. Give your armpits some room to breathe. Palms are facing up. Your eyes are not closed yet. Gently let them close. I'm going to finish up with our favorite and also with the most important pose. Finishing up with Shavasana. Let yourself melt into this last pose. See, for every exhale, you can let it go just a little bit more. And then from here, slowly start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Let the movement spread out into your arms and your legs. Bring your legs together. Bring your arms over your head on the ground, giving yourself a big, big stretch. And then slowly bring your knees into your chest. Hug yourself like you love yourself. So use your arms, squeeze it tight. And then let go of your knees and slowly roll onto your right side. Coming into a little fetal pose. Hugging those knees in towards your arms or towards your belly. Coming into that original pose of safety. Same way we were in our mother's womb. And then from here, with your eyes still closed, make your way back up into a seated position. Before we close up, I invite you to open your eyes for another moment. Let your left palm face up and then use your right thumb to gently massage your left palm. This is something I've been recently doing every day and it feels amazing. It also feels great to do that when you're washing your hands, especially like the water and the soap, but just when you're in the shower, if you're using a body wash, because obviously that way you have that whole other dimension to it. But I love it even just with the hand, with nothing else in it. You can also use it with dry hands and hand cream. So just something to experiment with. And then we will move over to the other side, right palm facing up. Use your left palm to massage the palm. Applying as much pressure as feels good. Remember, this is your body. But do what works. Perfect. And slowly release this all. Bring your hands to heart center. They will be extra warm from that massage. Take an inhale. And with your exhale, drop your head down towards your hands. Bring your chin towards your chest. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be kind. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. I've been meaning to